Good morning. Good morning, Margaret. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Just waiting just a second here. Cheers. Skull. Tastes good. Tastes good. My Jack O' Lantern pumpkin spiced coffee. As always, it's been that kind of a thing. So, good morning. Welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. So, as always, thank you so much for waking up and spending your mornings with me, or if you're watching this back on another day, that's awesome. I appreciate that. So, hopefully, you're doing well. Hey, Kate. We're just kind of rolling around. It's the final Halloween special that I'm doing, and this was been leading up to this, just like we always do. For most of us that enjoy Halloween, we're racing towards it. We still have a couple days left, but still, if you're still working that out. Hey, Debbie, good morning. Need some. Oh, well, Debbie, we will certainly do what we can. I mean, there'll be a little bit of information, but I certainly will. I do like to try to figure out jokes and things of that nature on the fly. Which is pretty normal for me anyway. So because anybody that ever has met me or something like that, including Debbie, I was thinking about you this morning actually, which I thought was funny, because I remember when we met was it last year for the first time, and was joking with you, and you thought I was like super serious because I was like trying to stay away from you. I'm sure you remember that quite clearly because you came back later going, "Are we okay?" So that was a hey Dennis, what's happening? So yeah, I mean, so it just popped up, and I think that's maybe why why you showed up in the chat today, because I was thinking about you, because I do those goofy things. Hey Dana, good morning. How you doing, Dana? So, man, my eyes watering. But yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Uh, yeah, so hopefully everybody's doing well. Yeah, I know you did. That was pretty funny though. I mean, you gotta remember, since you have never met me in person. Hey Heather, hopefully you're doing well. Um, you know, I, I'm like that, and anybody that's ever hung out with me knows that, I'll be serious, and then, we'll just have a blast, and I will do things that, look like I'm serious, but then I'm joking. But most people figure that out pretty quickly when I start cracking up and stuff like that. Um, yeah, but that's yeah, doing well, right, Dana? I'm going to talk about that in a moment, but yeah, no, so today, I just, like always, I'm going to just kind of go back and talk about the week because I have a few other little things that I didn't post about, and I wanted to bring it up with you guys, or bring it up to you guys. Well, just share it with you guys, that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, decent week. I know the one day I posted that I think I did. See, sometimes when you post so much, did you just pass out in that spot? It feels like it didn't. Same background. I did dress up a little bit, I did kind of get, I am supporting some Halloween stuff on me. Like I said, Dana, we're gonna get to that one. But yeah, I mean, I the one day I finally got sleep, and I can't remember if it was Monday. I think it was Monday night into Tuesday, but it's been well over a month. And you guys know I bring it up occasionally that, I don't sleep well typically, but it's always something different. Like I said, I'm not going to repeat everything as always, but I finally had a night where I just, slept pretty much the whole time and woke up to the alarm clock, which was great, for work. And uh it was weird because what it was. It was before. It definitely was right before the new moon / solar eclipse, which I think was Tuesday. So yeah, that made sense that it was Monday. Um, and then so like everything was going great. I'm wearing green and white today. Tomorrow and Monday will be Halloween themed. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Now, is the green and white s- supporting something? I'm just curious. I have a guess, but I'll let you answer that, Kate. Um, but yeah, it's like I said, everything was okay, and then Tuesday night, then it was just horrible. Like I couldn't, you know. MSU. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I knew green and white, and I was like, could it be Michigan State? I don't know, but I'm just gonna ask her anyway. So, um, so yeah, I mean, um, everything was going great in Phillies. There you go. Um, the because I knew a couple people, or and most people were going to be having issues around it because obviously a new moon, solar eclipse, we're kind of just multiplying things like that. That's cool, Dennis. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, Dennis, Total Spirit Hunters. Yeah, he just released the 13th, on his 13th production page. He did a documentary on the Purple Gang. That just came out, so that's all streaming. So you guys can head over to his page on Toledo Spirit Hunters, and you can get access to it. There's information over on his stuff, but yeah, he does live sessions, checking out haunted items in his pages, especially on TikTok. So, um, but I didn't think so. Like going back, I didn't think I was going to have any issues going into the into the solar eclipse, the new moon, and stuff like that. I just didn't, it wasn't a big thing, that was on my mind. I mean, I was more aware of it, and that's why I thought it was interesting because some people were experiencing it just leading up to it, and then I, had a great night's sleep. So I'm thinking, oh well, this is, it's not going to really bother me. But then Tuesday night, I couldn't fall asleep for almost 3 hours, which I was so tired, and I just couldn't fall asleep. And then it was just restless the whole rest of the time, and I just was dumbfounded because I was so tired from the day that why am I not getting any, sleep or anything, like I did the day before. And it's weird. It's like, it was almost like a ha at me, yeah. By chance, the entire universe is retrograde right now. Debbie, I mean, it always seems like there's got to be something somewhere happening. But yeah, I just found it weird because it's like, I get sleep, and then all of a sudden I'm like tortured then the next day. Like, well, you get one day and now we're gonna, screw you the next day. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I felt. I'm like, it just never fails. Like you get one day and then it's just back to the norm again. So but like I said, my sleep stuff has always been different. It's never been the same thing. So it's not just, I can't say it's insomnia. I can't say, it's just every night it's always something a little different. And if it was consistent, I would work on that and I would fix it. But I just never know what it's going to be. So uh but and it's just what it is. So but when I because of that sleep, and then I was, struggling to drive to and from work, which, I've talked about before. But other than that, things were okay. I mean, we had some rain this week because I know I couldn't post photos the one day because it was just a little, too cloudy and stuff like that. But I did make up for it. There's last couple of days I've finally been able to get some more pictures taken and posted. But again, I've been able to get outside all week, which is something I still talk to you guys about. I was even with the rain and the temperatures being a little bit cooler, I'm gonna keep pushing to get out there. Yeah, have to attend the children. Okay, man, have a good day, Dennis. You'll talk to you soon, buddy. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. Um, uh, but yeah, I was just kind of taken for what it is. And then, I noticed I started having some throat chakra issues, which they weren't really bothering me, but I asked a couple people close to me to kind of like check me out, which again, I asked, and that was the important part about it. I asked to hey, look into this, Norm. I'm not the one to ask, for because I think, well, I could just look myself, but sometimes it easier. Hey, Cassie, good morning. Sometimes it is easier for others to look at you, and that's what I did. I had a couple people up, and they saw some things, and realized that with the throat chakra stuff, it had to deal with some things that I wasn't talking about, which wasn't to it, it wasn't to like any of you or anything like that. It wasn't like I was not saying something. It was just some other things going on that I just was silent about. I just didn't think to open my mouth, and I guess that's what was bothering. Hey, thanks, Carrie. And so that was kind of the deal. It's like I just was keeping my mouth shut about a few things, and just some awareness. Hey, Dinah, good morning. And so I thought about it, and I was able to communicate some stuff to a couple people, that was suspecting is where it was, and now I've been fine the last you know day, last 24 hours, so I don't feel like I'm having any, which is weird because it's not like it was really bothering me. The only thing I noticed was that, um, you know, I to try to stay awake, I've been trying to do like extra like singing and stuff like that in the car ride because when you're singing and you're just kind of pumping that blood a little bit more, and it just has helped me out. Hey Rachel, good morning. And so I was really trying to do things in the morning and especially on the way home just to keep me awake. Because there's only you can't drink caffeine all the time, and you can't. I mean, you can, but I try not to do too much in the afternoons, which is pretty rare right now. And then, I don't want. I'm doing air conditioning when it's 50 some degrees out, just to chill me down, just because then you're more awake at that point. So just little things I try to do in the car, and singing's been one that's been working for the last few weeks on the rough days, and just keeps me awake and keeps me thinking about things. I have to focus on the lyrics, and you know I mean, I don't have the greatest of singing voices, but I've been trying to work on it because I'm in a car for an hour and 10 minutes, so why not practice things? And it's not like I've ever been coached on it, so but I've been able to figure out a few things and learn a few things on my own that I didn't even realize. Like I said, nothing great, but it's fun to have. I'm controlling things and different pressures, and you know, just all that fun stuff about those that sing would know. Or even if you're like me, you just kind of do it for fun. I mean, I did have a band. I was the lead singer and stuff like that. So, but different types of music. So, but um, but yeah, so I mean, so that's kind of been it. Now it's interesting. Now I did see everybody was talking about, the big weekend rivalry weekend. So yeah, I won't be really watching any of that stuff. I stopped watching sports a long time ago. I mean, I catch a few things once in a while, but I just most of the time Saturdays and Sundays, are just too busy. And even then, like today, I got to get some stuff ready because I have a gallery tonight that I got to get to, so I just don't have a whole lot of time, and with weekends and events and stuff, especially this time of year, it's just nonstop. So I just kind of let go of it, which was kind of fine because I get kind of just to watch some of the interactions that people have when they get way into it, and then you got this bickering and fighting, and then especially on social medias and stuff. And so I just stay away from it because it doesn't feel good to me anymore to you know uh, listen to people fighting. Like if when I was when I stopped watching, which was probably in 2012, like following a favorite team through and through, um I would, if the opposing team had a good play, I would, hey, that was a good play. I was trying to, hey, Jennifer, I try to be positive and give credit where it's due instead of just being upset and all that's. I mean, I got into it where you're yelling and screaming at the TV and stuff like that, and I just realized after a while that's just not the right way to do this. I mean, it's supposed to be for entertainment, but at the same time, give credit where it's due. I mean, both teams are playing for a reason, and so my thing is just to be, to call it out. Like, I've been able to go to, hey, Tammy, good morning. Um, hey, Nicole. I go, was going to my kids, high school football games. And so same thing, you see the other team do a good play. It's like, oh, well, yeah, they really got us on that one. I mean, it's just, that's how I, want to be perceived or how I want to show. It's like, credit, you gotta just give credit, to both sides. I mean, these kids, adults, whatever. I mean, they're all playing hard. They're playing what they love to do, and so I think it shows a lot. And I've when I was chaperoning a couple of them, or you talk to some of the you know other teams, fans, parents, and things like that, and I've had great interactions. I haven't had a single one, not that I was constant, but I've had a great interactions with, the opposing teams, adults, whether it's the parents or, whatever they're involved with. And it was just like, yeah, hey, good luck with the season, and just good stuff, to try to show that it's not, yeah, you want your team to win, of course, but it does help, and I think it helps you personally, and I guess this is kind of the message, to for everybody. I mean, yes, you wanna beat the other team, we get that, we know that, but at the same time, hey, if they whatever sport it was, if you got, beat up, or they did a good play on you, it's just how it goes. I mean, that's the way it is, and so, don't be afraid to give a couple, claps of applause to the other team if they did something good. I mean, that's the whole thing is you just want everybody to give 110%. And so, let them know, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't, that's why I really don't follow it anymore, just because that you just see everybody, hating on each other. And so it gets on my nerves. And so I don't want that on me. I'm truly trying to just do the positive stuff. And I mean, I'm human. So, I mean, yeah, there's negative moments like we all do, but if there's things I can avoid, even like negative people, you just keep them at bay. So yeah, I don't really pay attention. I mean, I put on a few games here and there just to watch a little bit, while I'm really just staring at my phone or working on something. It's just background noise, but I really don't stick to it, and watch like an entire game or anything like that. So, let me back up a little bit. Uh, yeah, let's see. I'm just reading everything. Dun, dun, dun. Jeff, I'm getting there to answer your question. Um, Jen, yeah, it's just a game. Best not to take it seriously. It's just that's the way it is. Um, the over aggressive parents ruin it for everyone. Yeah, Kate. I told my grandkids it's a game. It's supposed to be fun, but if it isn't, we can turn it out. You're right. Yeah, Margaret. Blows my mind when winners destroy their own city. Yeah, Debbie. I mean, what is that? I mean, yeah, what is that? Jeff, I've never been to anything, no, I haven't. I've never gone to anything, no youth hockey. I mean, it'd be interesting, but, you've seen the videos, I mean, the parents are way more active than the kids are on the ice. So, uh, yeah, hey, Kelly, good morning. So yeah, it's just one of those things. So yeah, I probably more than likely I'm not going to be catching anything today, because like I said, I got to get a few things ready for tonight. But I do have to talk about last night because that would be fun. So, uh, if you guys are bored and you really need to, Jeff and Dana, from Boo Productions, you know, did an event last night, and had a few of us on there. It's definitely different than and I did post about it, but I didn't want to reveal what was truly going on. It was a bit different than what your normal type of show is. We tried to keep it as normal as possible, and I will say that on behalf of everybody. There just happened to be some very interesting rules to the show. And hey, Jim, how you doing? And so it was a very interesting show last night. If you want a good laugh, and Debbie, I know you were talking about if you really truly want to have a good laugh, go back to my page or go to Boo Productions page and watch last night's show, because I guarantee once you get to close to about 15 minutes into the show, you'll get the gist of what was going on last night. And by the time we get towards the end of the show, then if anybody wants a really good laugh and you want to see even me a little bit different, I'll put it that way. And the only reason I'm not telling you guys, because if it gives you guys the opportunity to go check it out, that would be great, because even then, um you know I, I love Jeff and Dana, and so I want to make sure they get some love and stuff because like I said, last night was a fun one. And so um the it was a really good idea, and it wasn't, it was cool because it was mixed in with paranormal. And so like there's times where we got to ask each other some questions, or at least try to. So yeah, see, Dana, oh my god, it was hilarious. Like I said, that's why I'm not telling you exactly what it's. Hey, Donna, good morning. That's why I'm not telling you exactly what happened. But if you guys want to truly go over there, I mean, if you got like after maybe I'm done and you still got a few minutes before your day moves on, just even if you got to skip a little bit ahead, uh, but like I said, you actually delete it after the right, right. It is, it truly was hilarious. And uh, when my family was getting home, because they were playing, we playoffs started for high school football last night, and I remember at one point I was dying hysterically laughing. And they were walking in the door at that point, and they were trying to figure out why I was laughing so much. So go to about 20 minutes in. Yeah, yeah, just to make sure I'm hearing correctly. Boo Productions. Yeah. Um, uh, Kate, if anything, just go back to my Medium page. I actually have the direct link to the show. So if you just once you go to Black Swan, Adam the Black Swan Medium, you probably just scroll down past this live show link. You'll see it. It'll be clear as day. Um, but yeah, Boo Productions, you could check their Facebook page out. But yeah, it was hilarious, and it was so much fun. And I mean, you guys will be hilarious in theory. In theory, one could watch the replay and play. True, that is true, Jeff. You could. Like I said, it was a good idea. I definitely couldn't do that all the time, and yeah, it's that is definitely not a weekly thing. Maybe once a month, or at least on special occasions. I mean, granted, they themed it out for Halloween, which was perfect. I think a good time for it. So, maybe you do it for holidays or something like that. But like I said, if you guys want a really good laugh, I mean, and it's okay if you don't know all the players involved. And I'm going to say it like that. But yeah, you'll see Jeff and Dana in there, because they're really the host. Harold, uh, who is a part of the Togs team, which they're all a part of, and then some other people that were with the Warren Legacy Foundation, Joe Frankie and Dr. Heather Lee, stuff. People that I haven't met, but I've seen them on their show and stuff. So yeah, it was really hilarious. And it just and I forgot Becky too. You'd have all the rules for everyone ahead. Yeah, we needed. Yeah, next time, Dana, for sure. Thanksgiving's around the corner. So, I mean, we could do a Thanksgiving show, maybe that weekend or something like that. I'm just throwing it out there. Not on Thanksgiving. I don't think that'll work out, but, that would be kind of hilarious though. But yeah, check it out if you guys really want a big laugh. And even then there was some great questions, whether we got them in the chat or we asked each other. There was some actual true information that did, pop out, other than us laughing hysterically, but, yeah, check it out. So where are we at? 9:53. Perfect. So let me move this around here. Let's see. Gobble till you wobble. Good one, Dana. Oh man, there you go. Dana's got it. That's it. That's gonna be the name of it. Oh my gosh, that's so hilarious. That's fantastic. Um, Sorry, I'm just moving some notes around. Yeah, so I mean, well, I'm going to segue into really what the whole main topic was for today, and which I said, this whole time I was leading. I wanted all of the weekends in October to sort of be Halloween themed in some way. I know the one weekend I wasn't having a great week because I was super tired, so I just wasn't able to focus a lot. So there was one Saturday that was just more of a Q&A thing, which was great. I did need that, and that was easier to get through. But I still wanted to do the show regardless. Because usually, unless I am super busy, which again, there is going to be, we're obviously at the end of October, so there is a couple Saturdays, technically back to back, that I'm not going to be around. So one of them is our Old Mill Parafest on the 12th, and then the following weekend I should be arriving in Orlando, via the buses that we're on for the high school marching band. We're going down to Disney essentially, and we're going to be getting there Saturday morning about the time, or really close to the time that the show would start. So more than likely, uh, uh, 1 week, probably the Parafest week, will not have a show at all because I'm really got to focus. There's a lot of things going on for that Old Mill Parafest that I got to get all kinds of stuff together, and I have to say it that way because there's some secret stuff going on that you have to attend to find out. If not, you'll probably see some videos of it leaked afterwards. But if you can make it out to it and you're local, definitely come hang out because there's gonna be a lot of fun. So that week will probably be it, because I think what I'll do is that'll be the because what am I on? I'm on episode 21 of this season. So I think it's time to end the season because who goes, way into the 20s, so that way I could jump to season 5, which would be great because what I'll do is then the following week, while I'm technically getting ready to leave for Disney with the high school kids, I think I'll record a show that'll happen. I'll record a show that week that then will air on Saturday morning. So you guys will hear something, see something, but not necessarily, you know, I won't be able to interact with anybody. But I mean, obviously, I'll see comments, when we're not doing anything. So, you know, on that weekend, the 19th, I'm going to try to make sure I have something in the can for you guys to just hang on, even if it's a shorter episode, 30 minutes, we'll see. But then again, I might be able to talk about Parafest, talk about a few things and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, so other than that, like I said, we're gonna, we're keep moving forward and stuff like that. And obviously I'll still, because after, I'm thinking way down the road, I don't think there's anything else I'm gonna technically miss show wise. So I think November is really it because everything else I'm pretty good. And I got a couple possible guest things I'm going to do. Like I said, normally I don't because it's early and people aren't, all awake and not everybody wants to get ready in the morning. So I get it. That's why I really just don't. And that's why I just kind of ramble because again, premises of the show is just to hang out. We all just talk. You guys can ask questions, even if it's, on a different topic, I'll stop and answer it if it's, appropriate too. I want to make sure we're not going way off the rails. It's too early for that. But I just want to make sure you guys, we just have a nice way to wake up. Hey, Joe, how you doing? What day? Yeah, I can only imagine how you're feeling, Joe. So there's Joe Frankie. I met him really technically for the first time last night. So, I already told him, Joe, they if they really want, they have to go back and watch it. But I didn't tell them what we were doing exactly. I just said if they feel like having a good laugh, then they need to watch the show. So, but yeah, I would just yeah. So we got all that working out. So we're just gonna plow through the rest of the year and stuff like that. I got a couple ideas for some guests. Whether I record them ahead of time and then it just airs because of their schedules, or one of them might be in person with me. So, right, Joe? I have that effect on people. We So there's one episode that there might be I might have a guest with me. So we're still planning that one out and we'll see how that rolls. But that won't be, if there is going to be guest things, it'll be in December, I think, at this point. So we'll see. We'll see. But like I said, normally it's not a guest show anymore. I kind of did away with it, but I've been thinking, and I think I mentioned this to you guys before. I've been thinking about, doing possibly another show, maybe once a month, to where it's during the week, at a, decent hour, and then having, where it's more of a guest, because I know, there's a lot of people that I would love to sit there and talk, but I mean, a lot of them just are not waking up, or they got things they're doing just like me. It's like, we all get busy and stuff like that, but I'd like to, do something like that to where it's once a month, just something minimal to where it's not going to take a lot of, my time away, because obviously during the winter, it's not so busy, but like right now, I mean, I can't even think straight during the week. So, so yeah, I've been considering it. So what I'll do is I'll kind of ponder through those things, as we get into the winter months here, and then in the new year, probably when I would launch it, to do that. But so yeah, so if I get to work out the couple guest thing, that'll be fun, because like the one will just be in person, sitting with me. So Joe Ricky the Python Paranormal. What Dana just said, you'll understand if you watched that show last night. Oh boy. Yeah, that show really did go off the rails a couple times. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to jump into talking about what's coming up on Monday. I wanted to talk about Halloween, and most of you know it, already, but I think it's always fun to just kind of bring it up again. And I have some cheat sheets on my other screen, so that I'm going to kind of read through some of it, but not all of it because there's pretty in depth. But I wanted to talk, just the origins of Halloween. Like I said, most of us know about it, uh, but at the same time, some of us don't because we either just it's just Halloween, it's just whatever, and you don't realize that there's true origins to where it came from and how it is and how it evolved into what it is today. So I'm obviously not going to read verbatim on everything, and I'm not going to dive deep into stuff. Like I said, just a quick overview. And like I said, if there's those of you that are fascinated with Halloween, and maybe you've heard something and you want to throw it in the chat, historically or something like that, please do. Um, I've been, I haven't been told yet to report to HR. That's true, Jeff. You, yeah. Maybe that calls. Maybe they're having an emergency meeting this morning, so you still might get that call. But so Halloween, like I said, I'm just going to look over. Typically, his we know it was always being on the 31st. We do realize that it was a Celtic festival way back in the day, but it was some people like to say it the wrong way, so I'm going to say it the wrong way first and then say it correctly the next. But it was the Celtic festival, and the incorrect way is Samhain, which is wrong, but it's Samhain. So that was where is it? So yeah, it was 8th century. There we go. Well, no, that's not right. Anyway, I know why, because I'm on the wrong page. That helps to be on the right ones. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so Samhain was I know, Jen. I knew you. That's why I had to say it wrong first, because I knew how to say it. But yeah, pagan religious festival. We typically was always on the. I cannot see for my notes suck. Hey Ron, what's good? Good morning. They we typically celebrate on the 31st and 1st, but it was to welcome in the harvest and celebrating the fact that we're halfway through the year in a way of sense of light and darkness. Obviously there is beliefs and things in spiritual aspects, being on the other side and things, and everybody just kind of paying respect to them, which was something they did do. There's, and like I said, even just some of the notes, I mean, they really get deep into some of it. And like I'm saying, like the one right here, so ancient Celts, they marked this event as the most significant of the 4 quarterly fire festivals, usually taking place right around the fall equinox and winter solstice. Yeah, so like I said, it really gets deep into stuff, and like the amount of stuff that's going on. So just got up for my long night of fun. I know, Ron, you guys are finishing up your weekend, so at exit 13. But like I said, I don't want to. There's just so much to read, but I do like this part. I didn't, and Jen, maybe you've heard this too, but I did when I was going through the stuff. I thought this was neat. I didn't know there was. I guess I should drink some coffee before I choke. I didn't realize that, and I guess I missed this, but there was Samhain monsters apparently that they would give gifts to try to prevent them from bothering. And like, where was the one? So a lot of it would prepare offerings that they would leave outside the villages, fields. So what was the one? Okay, some of them were okay. The one was a shape-shifting creature called the Puka that receives harvest offerings from the field. And then Lady Gwen is a headless woman dressed in a white coat who chases night wanderers and was accompanied by a black pig. I do not remember hearing about any of that, and obviously that's quite interesting. Couple of characters. Then there's this, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, but I'm going to say the Dullahan appear as impish creatures, sometimes headless men on horses who are carried who carried their heads. So we know that. Riding flame-eyed horses. Their appearance was death omen to anyone who encountered them. And then there was a group of hunters known as the fairy host, might also haunt the Samhain and kidnap people. Similar are the Sluga, which that's definitely a Celtic word, who would come from the west to enter houses and steal souls. So I'm like, yeah, like I said, there's some of this stuff. I'm like, wow. I mean, like I said, it goes deep, and they talk about fairies and things of that sort too. But obviously over the centuries, things change. They talk about, Christianity being involved in it, and where they kind of start blending things together. There was, the whole thing of when the Irish, which is, basically right where it came from, but obviously Northern England and stuff too. But when they migrated over, they brought a lot of those traditions with them. And there was traditions of, and I know it was, let's see, let me find it real quick, because I thought it was fascinating that when they brought it over there, I'm not going to find it because it's deep. I'm not going to find it. Oh, yeah, wait, is that it? Yeah. Yes, I found it. So yeah, when they brought it over, ancient Scottish, yep, we know that. So they would put the costumes on, and they were going door to door, apparently, and singing songs to the dead. So obviously to, make sure that they're not restless and they're not going to be bothering people and things. But typically when they would go to these homes to help do that, the people at the homes would provide them with treats. Basically, they're saying cakes at the time, because obviously you didn't have candy and stuff way back. But I think that's, obviously there's that tradition of going door to door, and we still do. I mean, whether it was when you were younger, if you have kids that are still young, or, that have grown, or you still hand out candy, it's the same thing. You got everybody dressing up, and obviously they're not singing, but, they're still doing the same acts that they were back then. So, it's really fascinating. Like I said, it really gets deep into some stuff, and I'm blown away by it sometimes. But yeah, I mean, let me know, what you guys think. I mean, does some of this stuff, this Halloween, Samhain, does it, scare the living crap out of you? Are you guys worried? There's always the a lot of people, some people do and some people don't. I'm always thinking that the veil is thin. I'm always fascinated to hear both sides, which is, the proper way to do that too. But I think it's so neat to see where people's feelings are. Do they feel like there is more activity around Halloween or leading up to it? And then what's it like as we get into next week, or after Halloween and stuff? Does it go back, or does it continue? I'm always fascinated to see what people's opinions are. Cause like for the longest time, and obviously starting off in mediumship and stuff, I kept patterns of my stuff, especially before I really opened up that mediumship door. But I would keep patterns, and I always, there was times where things were happening, and then there was times there wasn't. And it to me, it was always like, it up and down, everything's going great, and then or it's really a struggle, and then then it's really awesome, including like mediumship and stuff too. There's times where you do readings and it's just a little bit more difficult, and just the spirits don't want to come through. But I don't look at it as a high and low. I a lot of times just think that it's just not that they're not willing to communicate so much. But so I just have to work a little bit harder at it. Have I noticed, because I've done several readings in several galleries, over the last like month, some have gone really well, and some have been a struggle. Do I associate it with the veil thinning? I don't know, because like I said, one time it is and one time it isn't. So, oh geez, Joe, forgot HR. You need to report directly to the Vatican. Good luck, Jeff. He's going to be wearing a rosary. He's going to have pouches of holy water, hanging from his belt. Let's see, Debbie, did they use orange to distinguish between Catholic and Protestant? Ooh, that's a good one, Debbie. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it in time. I probably won't. Um, I bet I'm not going to find it in time, Debbie, if I kept searching. Um, Rachel's saying, I think so. Some days you can feel it. We're also getting ready for Dia de los I can't even do, I haven't even had anything. I know how to say it. Dia de los Muertos. I can do it. I'll get to it. That's true, Rach. That's true. Holy water burns this morning. Yeah, well, and like I said, I've had that's the weird thing is so I can't say it isn't, and I can't say that it is, at least for me. Granted, I'm not out running around, uh, doing going around to cemeteries. I'm not doing various things of where I'm in, around spirits on a constant basis. My home is under lock and key. I only open up the door when I'm doing readings. That's the only time I let things in, and then I push them right back out. So this home is completely off limits to everything. So I, don't notice things or have things happen because I choose, to have that. It is in that aspect, it is a control thing, but it's also just protection of my family. I don't want anybody to have to deal with the, things. And obviously I have dealt with things in the past, you know, bad stuff, and that's just a part of the process. And, the bad stuff is not good. And you definitely don't want that stuff hanging around you. You don't want to, messing with you at home. So yeah, there is definitely one of those things of, you got to have boundaries and stuff. So, but like I said, it is a very interesting thing that, I've seen people say the same thing. It's like, well, they're not seeing a whole lot of difference. And, because when you look at those of us that can do mediumship and things like that, or sensitives, they'll just find other times throughout the year that it's just the same as it is right now. So, and again, I'm not saying there isn't any truth to it. And see Margaret saying, why is the veil thinner now than other times? Well, see, I mean, that's the thing is it just because of the way the history has written it? Is it just the way, has it been misinterpreted, through being passed down? That's, I think, a fascinating, thing to go down, a road to go down to discover. I mean, because I've asked some questions to some people in the industry because I always wonder, I'm like, where did this come from? And they've told me they're like, it hasn't, it's just a modern thing. And I'm like, really? And I'm kind of like dumbfounded. And I'm like, but why? So, it's just certain things out there that were never around it. There was never anything to it. And yet here they are, and you know what? I'm going to say it because normally I wasn't going to, because it's like, it can obviously, I don't want to, well, it's not, I shouldn't start a debate up with all of you. But let me read what Dana says. I have noticed that things you don't know no longer. I have noticed those who don't normally know they have abilities are the ones who notice more things when the veil is thinning. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and if at this time of year, if it helps people out to where they, get to understand things, or at least attempt to understand things more because it is thinner, they can really feel the presence of other spirits around. That's a good thing, if they're willing to go down that path, if they're willing to speak and learn what it's like, or is it going to scare the crap out of them and they're not going to want to touch it, and sometimes these people, which we know they're out there, obviously they don't share it with anybody. They don't know who to go to ask for help and support, uh, and that's just how that goes. But if they want to turn it off or they want to block it, they got to find something instead of just dealing with it where it's bothering them. Because I can imagine that there's people that are just petrified right now, and if they're being bothered and hammered, it's a lot. It's overwhelming, and so hopefully if they are, they can find people and reach out to people. I mean, there's so many great people, even just here in the chat and watching the show, there's so many great people, and that, we're all willing to listen and help in any way we can, even if it, like I said, even if it's just to listen to somebody talk about things. And, I'll listen. I don't have to say anything back, I'll keep my mouth shut. But, uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, so like I said, just to finish up the veil part, I just, I kind of am, Rachel, a little bit. It could have been, I mean, shockingly enough, I've actually pretty much finished my coffee, which it never happens on the show. I never get this point. It's usually ice cold. So it's like iced coffee, but yeah. So, I'm actually not that bad. I did pretty good. I mean, when I woke up this morning, I didn't have any issues. So, um, it's okay. It's okay. Um, I did have to go to the bathroom a lot last night, and that might be a little too much information, but, that's all right. That's all right. Um, but yeah, so and I guess that's the thing is for those that are, sensitive, those are, exploring mediumship or opening those doors, it'll be, would love to hear how, the next week goes, how how you guys all do, especially with those that are new to this stuff. Um, do you feel anything different? Like, let's say by next weekend, that's what's going to be fascinating to hear is, um, do things are they continuing to be, are you still getting bothered by stuff? And I say bothered in a nice way. Or it could be a bad way too. So yeah, Carrie, it certainly could. Right. Yeah, because you could go down the religious path, you can go down a spiritual path, you can go down. Yeah, I mean, it is a full show. Um, oh, that's cool. I just watched a 2-hour show on that last night. Yeah, see, Carrie, there's a lot of these things that, yeah, you could go deep into things and then just be completely blown away by it, and so, maybe we'll have to do that sometime. Maybe I won't talk so much in the beginning of, what happened during the week, and we'll just jump down one of these rabbit holes and see what happens. And that'll be a mind, a bender kind of thing, because here it is 9:30 in the morning and we're all going to be scratching our heads going, what are we doing talking this serious this early? That's why, like, when I do these topics, I just try to pick a few things so we're not like truly going down a rabbit hole. Because, like I said, even just Halloween and Samhain and stuff like that, that goes deep. And like I said, that's just pages and pages of information. So we could go down some deep stuff, but I just bring some of it up just so that it gets people interested, because you can go on and do your own research and dive deeper into it. But I'm getting down to almost 10 minutes left in the show, so it's like, yeah, imagine if we were talking about any one of these things in depth, and we'd be here for hours, if not all day. So uh but yeah, so I mean, yeah, yeah, I'll be kind of curious on the rest of you. See what you're like, because I think that's going to be a good one to follow up next Saturday. Is let me know how you guys are doing for the rest of the week after Halloween, obviously. But so really Tuesday on, just notice, see if things are unusual, see if things are strange, see if you're, having, um, things come up to you, in the sense of spirits and stuff. Just see. Doesn't mean I'm not saying to open yourself up to it, because if you open yourself up, that's just like, opening a gate and just everything comes flooding in. Don't do it like that. I mean, I would just be like the point of just being aware, you know what I mean? So you're not really opening the gate, you're just kind of by the door, so to speak. Um, Rachel, I think it depends on the day and how aware you are, plus add in all the planetary chaos. Yeah, see, that's the fascinating thing too, Rachel. I mean, astrological stuff, stuff literally here on earth, the time of the year, seasons, belief systems that have been in place for a long time, centuries. Obviously Halloween's been around since the 8th century, so we're talking thousands of years here. So it's amazing how that, I mean, that's why it's tough to say for sure, like exactly like we were saying, why is it the veil this thin, and why is it only this time of year? There's got to be some other deeper things, or do we just not know? I mean, like I said, Carrie is right. We could go down a deep rabbit hole with this stuff, and it would just be here all day. But then again, we'd all be researching and digging into it to find out what we can find. But you know, I just want to make sure that, because obviously, there was a point in history for mankind, humans, that we weren't able to record all the information. I mean, obviously we're still finding things occasionally with, written script, type of things. And sometimes it's in dialogues that we don't even have a way to translate it. So there's a lot of interesting things still out there to be discovered, but there's things that have fallen away. Most of you guys know, I have Viking in me, and even then there's a point where even just we have the sagas and everything that describe things, but like there's a hard stop of information. And so there's things that nobody knows. Now they've get a few more things that they've learned, which are pretty cool. But a lot of that has been because of technology. But again, not a ton of things have been written down. Like I said, the sagas were, uh, but then there's things that just have changed, and the Vikings, evolved their uh their the written stuff, the Futhark, and their wording and lettering and stuff like that changed too. So it's like they didn't keep it the same. Like our alphabet's the alphabet, you know what I mean? Go to other, countries and things like that. Some of them have a little bit more extended alphabet, but like the Vikings changed. They changed their alphabet. And so that's what makes it tough, is that, when they did these changes, why they did these things, who knows? But yeah, there's just so many things that we just don't know. And we can only speculate, we can only guess, and maybe assume, which is always a bad thing too. Yeah, just like with all this stuff, I mean, there's a lot of questions. I think there's always going to be more questions than there are answers, but because even then, if we get one question answered, we're already moving on to the next question. But yeah, but like I said, keep track of it. Let's talk about this. See if any of you, because I know some of you are still really new at some of this. So I will be curious to see. And even if you can't make the show live, maybe hit me up later in the week. Just let me know, and I can share, on the show next weekend. But yeah, we got to be aware of a lot of different things and see what's going on. And it's interesting, but fascinating at the same time. That's why I love looking into it. I mean, I try to dig into things and uh, see what else is going on, or find other topics that I can bring up on the show. And because these are things that we should be discussing, and whether you're into it, or whether maybe you disagree with things, that's fine too. But that's the fun part about it, is this, like, we still can learn even if you don't believe in something, or like I said, just disagree. It's still a learning experience, and I think that's the benefit of it too. I do. I mean, like I said, I have no problem, if somebody's got a different opinion than I do. I want to know, because why is it, what's the curiosity, or what's the reason you think this way, and how did you get to that point? And just like for me, it's as long as I can say the same thing, why this and that. um but since we're getting close to the end of time, and just to kind of finish up with the whole Halloween thing. So, if anybody's willing to share in the chat, I mean, is there any Halloween traditions you guys are going to do, whether it's this weekend, or on Monday, the actual Halloween? Do you guys do anything specific? Uh, um, you know, like for me, being, a father, so I mean, still going to do a little bit of trick or treating. um, I will say this, and as you guys, maybe some of you are typing, I will say this, because I was thinking about this for the longest time, and I have Monday and Tuesday off from work, so I have trying to start burning up a lot of vacation days, and so I'm not going to work on Tuesday. And something I thought would be really fun, and this is for people that are still watching and maybe checking this out later. I am considering doing a live show Monday night, a pop-up show, which I haven't done in a while, but I'm thinking about doing a pop-up show and pulling my Halloween oracle cards, for you. So basically give you guys a one card pull. So if that fascinates you all, and that maybe you guys would be around Monday night, Halloween night, I thought it couldn't get any better to do a little pop-up show, do some readings, and I thought that would be exciting because as much as I've always wanted to do that, it's just always been difficult with the kids, and so, uh, I know my son's still young enough to where we'll go around, but he's not a 2-hour long hauler, so I would love to, take advantage of Halloween, and it can't get any better than that, and so I would only use my Halloween, deck, and so I think it'd be kind of exciting to do that for you guys, and, I'm totally into it, so I figured I wouldn't, I didn't think I was gonna get any, naysayers being like, "No, you shouldn't do that," but it looks like, a few people would be interested in hanging out, Monday night. Um, I I'll create a time for it, but I wanna wait until it's probably officially just after the trick or treating side of things are, so it may be like, 8:15 or so, but I'll try to do it, pretty close, or if I can start it at 8 o'clock, Eastern, I will, uh, but, when we get closer, I mean, I'm probably gonna create the event, I'll probably say 8 o'clock, but I'll probably put in the notes possibly, a little wiggle room. Maybe it won't start until like 8:15 or something. But I want to try to get it to where it's not super late. Because I know there is still some people that do have to work the next day. So I won't make it late. But yeah, I think it'll be kind of fun. So yeah, when I post that, which I'll probably do, I think I'll post it tomorrow because obviously it would make sense then on Monday, but to get people excited to want to hang out. But I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to be, asking, uh, for anything out of it. I mean, I'm not going to put up any links and things like that. I just want to do it because I'm into it. And I know a lot of you are too. So, Kate's saying we're going to be in the Greenfield. Oh, cool. Yep. I've never been there for a Halloween thing. Actually, I've never been there for any of the holiday themes, that they do. I've always wanted to go to the Halloween one, but I just never made it there, but, that'll be kind of cool. Um, let me see. So yeah, so keep Monday night opened if you're wanting to get a card, a Halloween card, which I love that deck. That deck is so much fun. Taking my 13-year-old son out trick or treating. We go trick or treating to see old friends in the neighborhood group. That's cool, Kate. That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, enjoy the evenings. I mean, that's the cool part about it too. Is you still have kids that are young enough. Take them out there. And have a good time. I mean, there was debate in this house of me dressing up for Halloween and just walking around the neighborhood. Um, Hard part is how much stuff I have to put on to make it work, but and then to take it back all off to then do the show, would be a little bit of a strain on me. So I'm still debating on if I'm going to dress up or not. In a full rig Monday night, for trick or treating or not. I'm debating. So, or I'm only going to do like an hour of just walking around my block, and then my neighborhood block, and then just going back home at 7. So we'll see, because ours is 6 to 8, which I know most people are, but so we'll see. And if it is, I'll make sure people take photos of that. So do they really, Kate? Yeah, tickets sell out really fast. I believe that. I believe that because it is popular. I mean, you know, you I've seen photos of people that are who says you well, Carrie, oof, um, one, I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, well, technically, I have done so to answer Debbie's question, which I have done a show in that costume, but just not on mine. I did it for somebody else's show. In fact, last December, uh, it's the problem is it works. It'd be a little bit harder to hear me because I'm wearing a big mask, and so there's definitely a lot of muffled sounds. But yeah, I mean, and then it's a little more uncomfortable to sit here because when I did that show, which was in December of last year, which I will gladly highlight them, but it was on the Boo Productions, Jeff and Dana's show. that we did this, and that was another fun event, and so that gives Dana's probably already knowing what show that was that I was dressed up in, so which was another hilarious show. So if you go back to their videos and go back to December of last year, you find a certain holiday show, you'll get the gist of what I'm talking about. And I'm only saying this. Well, you know what? Ooh, I mean, I can see the mask from here. Where are we at? We're at 10:30. So, um, okay. All right. I know what you guys are going to say. I'm going to ask, do you guys want me to go get the mask and show you what it looks like real quick? So you guys know, because you guys, I've talked about it before. I just don't talk heavily on it, but I could go, it's like 10 feet away from me. So I could go get the mask and bring it back. And then you guys could see what the possibility is I'm talking about. Let's see. Hey, Kathy, I'm doing late Halloween. Is that my dad's birthday? He would be 100. Okay. Wow. Yeah, everybody. I knew everybody's gonna say it. Oh, Kelly was saying our trick or treating is Sunday night. Monday night we'll be recovering from hanging around the kids and sugar highs. Exactly, Kelly. Yeah. Um, all right. So we're a couple minutes over, but that's fine. I will go get the mask. I'm not putting it on. I'm not putting it on. That I'm stubborn about. I'm not putting it on because you're not supposed to see somebody put the mask on. It's already supposed to be on. So that's not going to happen. So don't say it. But I'll be right back. All right. So here, I'll start to show you a little bit of it. I got to get in the camera. That makes sense. There's part of it. So you can see that's just what the top end of it. So you can see how like this dramatic entrance. So most of you maybe don't know who this is or what this is. This is my version, which I did not create, but this is Krampus. So this is um, a really ancient tradition in Austria, mostly in southern Germany. Uh, I just saw somebody say, "Must Kathy saying, is this heavy?" Yeah, it is. And the reason why it's heavy is because this is all wood. This is the traditional way they used to do that, other than the myth itself. But this is all carved out of wood. So all those details you guys see, that's all carved. So, you know, just so you can see a little bit of it. That's all carved, painted. This design is what I worked with the mask maker on. This I wanted it to represent like if I had a darker side to me, this is what would be what I would hope on. So yeah, there is the thought of me walking around in this whole rig Monday night for at least a little while. But yeah, I've loved this. Yes, and the I cannot. Well, here's the interesting. The I get real close. Turn towards it. There we go. So you do. I'm going to be talking loud in the microphone, so I'll tone my voice down a little bit. Um, you do not. I'm not looking through the actual eyes. The actual eyes are just that. I can't see through them. I am actually looking underneath the eyes. So if you see a couple little dark lines, that's what I'm seeing through. So it's not big, not a lot of vision, but it is enough to where you can see. So when I've done events, I did an event last year for a fundraiser in December, and I have to have somebody when I'm going to be walking around people and things like that. I have to have somebody with me just because I can't see everything. I only have a little bit of a vision in front of me. So, but yeah, this is my baby. I love this thing. And so that this would be what I may wear, um, Monday night. We'll see. Like I said, the my outfit is, pretty intense and stuff. And so to get in everything because I have so much I have to put on. Yeah, it's a hoot, but it's also amazing. So yeah, I love this stuff. I've always wanted to do it. And I was by this particular mask maker, I was the second person in the United States to get one here. Because other than that, he's only had local people buy them, in Austria. So I was the second person, and it took me over a year to finally get it because I was on a waiting list, and this took about 30 days to make. And so, he would send me photos, from how it was all going and what it would look like raw before it was painted. It was pretty intense. So, but yeah, this was awesome. So yeah, it's going to be we'll see. And I haven't set up any other, Krampus events this year because typically this is December when Krampus comes out. In fact, it's usually right on my birthday, which is December 6th, is Krampus Day. So, but thank you for all the great comments. Yeah, it was a pride and joy to get this and been able to use it at a couple different events. And I want to try to do more, and there's really nobody else around here that does it, so you can't, but I want to try. I want to try to get into some other things and see what I can do. But yeah, we'll see. So if I get to wear this Monday night, if I feel up to getting all set up, then yeah, it'll be a good time to run around the neighborhood a little bit and see what kids think. So they're not going to be used to it, But so yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys get going with the rest of your day since we're a few minutes over. And yeah, if by chance, you guys will see me posting a lot. Jeff mask. you could that would be interesting. Get a Jeff mask. We so if I don't talk to you guys, I just wanted to wish you guys a very happy Halloween. If I don't see you guys Monday night, like I said, I'll do readings later in the evening, and so I'll post about that tomorrow. And yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Have a great Halloween, whether you're starting things early or having any parties that you're going to, today, and or other kid events. But enjoy your Halloweens, and it'll be really cool to, hear what you guys, how it all went for you next week. And yeah, great. So I'm out. I've got things to do today. So will catch you guys later. So thank you so much for being here. Like I said, look, I'm going to be posting obviously, for the next few days anyway. And there's an angel feather floating right down in front of me. I can't get to it. Sorry, I'm pausing because come here. I can't get to it. Oh, there was an angel feather right there, guys. So there's some love right there. That was so cool. Wow. All right. Well, how about that ending? So I stuck around long enough to have an angel feather float down in front of me. So, okay. Good to see that they're around today. Yeah. And I forgot about that. Jen, thank you for reminding me. Tomorrow I posted about it, but I'll have a fresh link to it. The HOCC and the greatest hits. We're all doing a healing show tomorrow at 11 a.m. So if you guys are interested in a healing tomorrow, we're going to be doing that. I have a link on there already, but I'll put a fresh link up later on so you guys can see that. So that's another fun thing if you guys are available tomorrow. So thank you, Jen, for reminding me of that. I appreciate that. Yeah, so happy Halloween again. I will see you guys later. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, and if not, maybe Monday night. So all right, so you guys have been watching the Mid-Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium, and I will see you again very soon. Happy Halloween and good day to you.